Hi there, Tom Kendall from PRI Sunshine Coast on our property Mungarida, which means place of food. This property we have here is used as a demonstration site for doing permaculture. It is a master plan site, a concept of educating people about permaculture, and it's a training facility for people to learn about permaculture. And we have many people coming through here learning enthusiastically about how to set permaculture techniques together and strategies so we can be in harmony with the landscape and provide our foods and our needs and for our shelter and our sustenance on this planet. So as I said before, we are a Permaculture Research Institute, and we're endeavouring to set one up in Vanuatu. Vanuatu is a series of islands in the South Pacific Ocean. It's about 1,900 kilometres from here in a northeasterly direction, east-northeasterly direction. So it's reasonably close to us here, which is convenient. I've been asked to go there 3 times to talk about permaculture, to actually teach some courses, and we've found that there is quite a need there for the people. And I went to several villages and found that each village wanted more from me, and I realised that pretty much every village wanted more from me. Not that I'm saying I've been to a lot of villages, but and it was interesting the fact that I've been asked to go there 3 times, that maybe the whole country wants me. So what's that all about, and how can I make a difference? How can I help? And so we decided that we're going to set up a demonstration site over there. It's going to be a master plan site, so it's going to be a PRI Vanuatu. We've actually realised that we're probably going to need to have 2 different sites because of the configuration of the island system. People in the northern islands probably never go to the southern major town or city, Port Vila, and people in the south probably never go to the not so large a town, but the major town in the northern half, Luganville. So we'll probably set up 2 sites. So we're initiating the first site in the northern half, or the northern section, called near Luganville, so it'll be a Permaculture Research Institute, Luganville, Vanuatu, and then as resources allow, we will set up another site near Port Vila on the island of Afate, and that will become Permaculture Research Institute Villa, or Port Vila, Vanuatu. So it's going to take a bit of doing to get this going. First, going to need land and then resources. And I went over several months ago because I had made contact with some people, and they had offered me land, or offered us land, I should say, to set up a site on loan, I guess is the word. But no, I don't want to own the land. It's not for me to own the land. It's going to be a space where the local people can come to learn the techniques and strategies in action. It's a bit hard for them to understand when it's all talk through translator and you're not actually implementing it very well or at all. So what we're going to do is implement the strategies in place on the land. And so I went in January to talk to these people again and have a quick look at the land. It's regenerating back to jungle, I guess. It's been in the family, or this family, for 40 years. They're not doing very much with it. If they just got a little garden there, and they've offered us use of 10 hectares that hopefully we can set up some zoning strategies and get things moving there. We have some volunteers that came through here, but they became students a couple of years ago. They're very keen to get on the ground and go there, so we'll go over soon. At the end of June we're intending to go over and start initiating something there. We have to set up a not-for-profit organisation because the PRI will need to be a not-for-profit organisation, so we have to go through that process and get that established, and also we'll get on the ground and we'll start designing and gardening. Food's going to be one of the first things we need to do, and set up some accommodation for the volunteers that will be there. I'll only be there for 10 days initially, and then I'll visit as funds and time permits and needs arise. I will intend to go back and teach the Permaculture Design Certificate course there, and we'll invite anyone that wants to come to come to do that course, which will hopefully generate some funds to keep implementing stuff on the site. So we're needing of funds. We need some sponsorship or some donations or some way of getting this to go. We need accommodations, probably the first thing. We need to set up a water system, and we're also going to need a little bit of electricity because the volunteers are people from the Western society, so and they'll need to be in communication also with me and also their families back in Europe, and so we'll need to have probably a small solar system to charge telephones and also a little bit of lighting. We don't want to set up a major infrastructure there because we want it to be relevant to what the local people need in their villages. A lot of these villages don't have a road to them. Give you an indication of what they have available to them. So we want to keep it real for them. We don't want to come in and have unrealistic infrastructure in place. So we want it to be very much the same as what they're doing. There's many issues that they have there. One of them is that they want longer term housing. Their housing is beautiful bamboo huts, but they only last for a short period of time, maybe 8 or 10 years, and then they have to rebuild them. I think it's great that they rebuild them because it means there's an economy in the local village, and if they go to permanent or longer term housing, then those people in the village lose their economy, the house builders. But the problem that they're doing is they're going to Besser block, concrete block, and this is not ideal infrastructure to have in place in this climate because it's heavy mass and then the houses are very hot and they don't get any airflow. So this is an area to look at. We also got to look at, well, the major thing that I see there is soil fertility loss, and so we'll be setting up swale systems and vegetation systems and composting systems. The small talks I've had, they've said that they know how to compost, they learn how to compost, they don't know why they need to compost, and so we're going to show the cycling system of composting and building soil fertility and show them that you can garden in the same place forever, whereas they have the impression that you slash and burn and move on, and so this is causing soil loss, soil fertility loss, soil loss. So what this little video is about is awareness of what we're trying to achieve in Vanuatu, and we just would like some, if we can get some support to do so. Our project here doesn't generate that much surplus yet that we can go in what we need to in this initial stages. In time, hopefully we can. In 3 years' time, the idea is that it will be a self-funding project in Vanuatu by teaching courses and people sponsoring. With teaching the courses on site, the idea is that the Western people come and generate enough funding so that the local people that don't have any funding, that need the education or the information, basically get sponsored by the design of teaching the courses on site, generating an income. So there'll be scholarships or small monetary returns asked for from locals to come, and also on site the local people will volunteer as well. So they'll get long-term processes and which will help run the site. And then in time, on site, we need a local person to be a PRI accredited teacher, and so that they're teaching in their own language, and in time I can step back, or we can step back, and it's self-ran by the local people, which is what we need. So, I'm not saying we're going to abandon it. We're not going to step that far back. We'll totally still be involved, assisting wherever they need, and supporting and directing more volunteers through from our other master plan sites. If you want to support us in our endeavours, we have a We the Trees crowdfunding page, so you'll be able to find us there, a wonderful crowdfunding organisation available to us. Or you can email us directly at info@permaculturesunshinecoast.org. Okay, so thank you for your time, and please keep following us, and if you can support us, very much appreciated. Thank you.